Oh, we talking ANIAN, man. Fall back, man. It's gonna be a good one.
That's why spark.
My jigger natural by law.
Texas heart. Told Texas red. Cali sharp. Call me bread. Call me bread. After dark. That's why spark.
We're just taking a stroll through the Carlsbad Caverns, New Mexico.
Cali sharp. Call me bread. Call me bread. Bread, are you my brother? We tribed up or nothing. Detectives on a 6. They think we up to something. My people down the ride. My nigga, we ain't frontin'. We burning out inside. So pass me the blunt. A spark and hit the mark. Grab Moses out the dungeon. Free Phineas and Tryon. Then double up in Zion. A shoulder to cry on. In the deep horizon. We CUV bound. What's lost now we found. We wave surfing, hijack slaying. Bruce Ross, cost boss paying. Sam Banyan on Zion. Chasing hounds while we praying. Hit the block, slossing, swinging. Drived up, no more banging. Prester John fountain drinking. Built the ark, now we singing. I'm a copper color knocker. Product of a rhymer. Every knocker got a dragon. I put that on my mama. Charge it to the game. I'm charged up with pain. Rest in power, nip. Your spark won't be in vain. Revolution brings order. Free Alpha from the slaughter. Genghis Khan went to war over Prester John's daughters. That war isn't over. I could tell you, but I'll show you. Dracons on Quan, spitting flames on the cobras. After dark, that's why spark. Cali Street, Texas heart, told Texas red. Cali sharp, call me bread, call me bread.
They don't mess around my king, turn my cons to the sea, pull around there my me, also rule, you know what I mean, put a J in my jean, boomerang in my feet, up and away when I leave, no more Kool-Aid is my team, give me a moment, man, gotta leave, waste my time every time I see, going against everything I breathe, but who was all that I need, putting gold on my pedigree, while they lying on my breed, putting locks on my green, too much corn syrup in my tea, and these bunnies making me wheeze, burn them down, baby, with ease, drink them down, baby, I see, flowing water, never thirsty, third wave, you know what I mean, how's that prison gonna go free, high vibration in my knee, ask her why while I plead, this is a musical, no glee, history, if you don't know how I read, spiritually, I know I'ma bleed, no religion, yeah, I believe, 440 jamming that bleed, wake them up with that fire, that heat, got a power under my feet, so I just throw me in 16.
After dark, that's why spark. Cali Street, Texas heart, told Texas red. Cali sharp, call me bread, call me bread.
Got that vision for the mission with tribal with 9 conditions. Our rivals could never mention the drop up in this kitchen after dark around these parts. Better have you some permission. Trying to post up at the park, you gon' crash without collisions. Who get it cracking like dishes from overseeing the scriptures, genetically seeing clearly develop negative pictures. These rhymes measured by Richter from crossing over the rivers, planting stabs in the sand. Copper element fixture, I extended from the flame when I seen it turn blue. Had to throw away the gang, getting back to my roots. Now I'm glued to this frequency that's 432. And when I spot that hijack, I serve Levitical food. It's the one they know is natural, gifted with fantastic flow. Spit it for Drop Nation so they know we are sabbatical. That's our day of rest. If you can test, we aren't compatible. 10th F automatic though, we only deal with factuals.
After dark, that's why spark. Cali Street, Texas heart, told Texas red. Cali sharp.
Hey man, much of natural by law for spitting that fire. Hey, how my jigger out there in Texas, man. We just doing collabs, man. We got many more to come. We got to keep this one flowing, man, and make sure they all get to feel this Cali Street, Texas heart, man, vibration. Hawaii gave us the vision to unite the tribes, man. So we all got to unite, man. We all got to come together. We all got to try, but we're going to come back in here, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not done discovering Carlsbad Caverns, man. This is in New Mexico. Crystal Caves, man. Crystal Caves, man. It's all good, man. We got a couple more slaps to drop on you, man. We're going to do a little musical interludes, man, because this is how good this drop continues to be when we dig on ANIAN, Arnon. We're going to get into the script, you know what I mean, dig around, connect this Arnon, you know, see if we can get a dragonfly perspective of the wars going down, you know, between Moab and Israel, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, more further documentation, man, that we are in the old world, man, and this is the cover-up. This is the cover-up, man, so let me get cozy. All right, okay. All right, you ready? Let's go. Can we get fluty? Can we get a little, play a little flauta indigna de bamboo? Love to Rick Jones Anderson, man. Hey, man, the Roos is in the building. The Roos is in the building. Fall back, try. We back. We back. We back, Shabbat. Man, it feels good to be back home with my Shabbat. Feels a little something like this, man. You know? Feel a little something like this. Try, feel a little something like this. Wow. Loud wow. There we go. There we go. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I ain't gonna drop you off. I ain't gonna drop you off no cliffs. Got you. It's all good. Don't that feel good to sign up? Make sure you're getting Zani in the drop chatter. Chatter. Hey, Hob Dawee. Dropping that drop, man. Dawee's dropping that drop. Hey, Hob to the Copper Khan. I see the Copper Khan dropping that drop. Dropping that drop. All right, we back. We good. Let's go. Oh, we got a Ty Badzan, TBZ. Say Shalom, Drop Nation. Copper Khan said, man, I just appreciate this. I'm digging in, man. Khandrop, Drew, what he do? Love to Drew some Burns, always in the building. Always in the chat about it. I mean, Dawee's dropping nothing but hot smoke. You get in here. You dig on it. The brother's on an investigation. Get in the chat if you want to know what it's about. What else we got in here, man? Man, Copper Khans, man, dropping that drop, man. Dawee and Copper Khan were having a nice one right here, man. This is all what, yesterday? Man, they've been in here digging. Oh, we got Tecum Say in the building. I see Tecum Say. I see you, bro. Much high, Tecum Say. That was a good show. Thanks for the replay. I was getting hella sidetracked yesterday. Got a chance to hear the hijacks get blasted. Shout out to the tribe. Shabbat up, man. Ahchwa Renana's in the building. LaRock Morning Stars in the building. Sister Arlene's in the building. You better be in the building, man. Ty Battle's in the building. We're just talking about the drop chatter. Chatter. Let's go, man. ANIAN, Arnon, Mexico. Remember this map? Yeah, man. First of all, you tell me, are you in the west or the east? You in America, right? Normally they'll have you over here and they'll have Europe over here, right? Are you in the west or the east? You seem to be in the far east to me. The far east. The Orient. Mexico, right? Mexico. America, Mexico. And now you got North America here. And if you look closely, you see Cathay. So we talk Cathay with ANIAN in China and the Bering Strait. You better get your ass on over here to America, the old world. You have India Superior India superior. I don't know how else to say it to you, my people. You are in India superior. The greatest India. Why? Because the priest king ruled right here. And the priest king will always rule. Prince over Israel forever. Forever, ever. One shepherd. Ezekiel 34. Ezekiel 37. Hosea 3 and 5. If you will search for David, well, you right here in the four corners in India superior. Cathay. What? Mexico. America. Cuba. Get it? You're in the east. But we're just talking Prester John. Yeah, man, we just, fall back. We're just talking Prester John. The relationship between the new Spanish discoveries, man, I'm reading out of the Mythical Straits of ANIAN. You got the links below. Click on them. The relationship between the new Spanish discoveries and the Terra Nova and the Asian continent was not yet fathomed, but all of Marco Polo's kingdoms were placed close at hand in the northwest, ready to be absorbed by forthcoming expeditions. Developing the idea a little further after the discovery of the mainland north of Isthmus, we find that the maker of the MS map, and this map was published in Britain, London, Britain, right? Illustrated in the outline, has placed Prester John, you see it right here, we got this before, let's go. Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors, not very far from Mexico. So you got Dr. Clyde Winters talking about Atlantis in Mexico. We got King David right here, which is where Genghis Khan ended up taking over in the so-called 13th century. And Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors. Well, you know he was at war against Hijack, so I'm sure he was. I'm sure he did have idolatrous neighbors. I'm sure King David did have idolatrous neighbors. If we're fighting Moab all day and Ammon, we're just talking the Straits of Arnon. So we got Prester John kicking it in Mexico, huh? This map in the British Museum, okay, showing the connection between Marco Polo's Asia and the new lands, right? The new lands to the what? To the east. Where? To the east. Then you found Cathay in India superior. He's just looking for India. He's just looking for India. And here's the interesting part, right? This Bering Strait situation. And what is it really? Since we have orientation, that this is really their route to get here. They're telling us everything like backwards and you know what I mean, all this stuff, but they have to cross the transatlantic. This is the connection right here. Africa's over there somewhere, right? Over here. We're connected through Asia. That's why they call it the Asiatics and all this connection between our people here and our people here and our people that ruled Russia. So you got all of Russia right here connected to the land of Prester John, man. Who is Wong Kong? I mean, just meditate on it. Activate. We all gotta vibrate. Lawa. The Wadawa for Shabata. The more we lose, the more we gain. So let's talk about this Bering Strait that's connecting Marco Polo's land of Asia, right, to the land of Judah, or the ANIAN, or the Arnon kingdom. Connected to Mexico, right? Connected to Cuba, right? South America, right? India superior, Cathay, the land of Prester John. Who? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. We got this right in The Dark Races of Men by Robert Knox, page 167. I believe, all right, because he's just talking about the peopling of the land of Prester John. the peopling of America, I believe, offered the credulous for the opening of America, or for the peopling of America. So he's talking about this metamorphosized Welshmen, nor Connaught men, nor Norwegians, nor Polynesians. The last hypothesis, I believe, offered the credulous for the peopling of America. So what hypothesis? Always accepting that standby of the thoroughbred theories, namely that the copper-colored Nagas, the copper Indians, you know the color of grandma's penny. We're talking brown, deep brown, ruddy, copper Indians. That is the true Americans. Yeah, man, you are the definition of the American. Were the lost tribes of Israel who fled there on rafts headed by Prester John. Okay. So now they're saying Prester John's connected to the peopling of the Americas, man. Sounds like your kingdom being reestablished again and again and again. We just talked about the flood of 899. I mean, why would things need to be repopulated, right? These stories seem to correlate on top of each other so much, man. Dealing with Noah's Ark, and dealing with Joshua, and dealing with David. At the end of the day, we're all talking the same thing. But how do we get there? Hijack free. So in Dark Races of Men, Robert Knox literally says that this theory, this hypothesis, offers the credulous for the peopling of America. Alright? That you copper-colored Nagas, you Indians, you indigenous Nagas, are the true Americans and the lost tribes of Israel, following Prester John, King David. And in this British map, they've placed Prester John not very far from Mexico. Prester John, Mexico. Prester John, Mexico. Meshi, Moshe. I mean, just for fun. Just for fun, man. Let's take it back to the balconies, man. Hyborian. This is the Hyborian War map, man. We used to play with this and find some interesting things all the time. I said, let me bring it back out, man. And see how they're placing you now over to the other side, even though they just placed you over here on the right side, the east side, right? In the British Museum. So you can easily flip yourself over there. And we went to Africa and we found nothing of Africa that we know. There's not one piece of land. And this is a reality simulation done in Arizona. Is it play? You know, I know it's connected to a game, right? But is it play? Is Game of Thrones play? There's nothing connected to an Africa you know until you scroll on over to the real east side. Moving on up now. And you see Thoth Amon Spellbearer. So Thoth pops up right away. Remember, he says in his Emerald Tablets, he hopped in the ship with the dweller, went to the land of the hairy barbarians. So he left here, went here, set up a new Kemet, right? A new Egypt, a new Atlantis, Halls of Amenti, Great Pyramid. When the oldest pyramids are confirmed, found over here, when we talk Mexico, the Yucatan, you know what I mean? And you have Zimbabwe connected to what would be South America. Look how big South America is. Right? You have the Kingdom of Punt. You have Timbuktu or Timbuktu. You have Kush, man, and the Kush's Sea. And this would be an Egypt type of spot. They got the Hunted Pyramids, Sukhmet, Alright, Luxor, Kim right here. So this would basically be Egypt that they call Stagia. They're just playing with you. You got Shem right on top, right around the time, you know, or the place that Mexico, I guess, would be right around there, you know what I mean, leading up to this four-corner situation where you have Pick land divided into 12 tribes. We're going to get back on the Picts, you know what I mean? You got Samaria with northern and southern clans, and that's right around the area that who? Prester John is rocking. You know, that's just a very interesting map, you know, from this reality simulation in Tempe, Arizona. Can you dig it? All the drop seems to be here. All the drop seems to be popping off in India Superior. India Superior. India Superior, right? Right on top of your head bone. India Superior. So we got to get that in our head bone when we talk about the Straits of Anian and Arnon, because they're going to keep trying to make it connected with a China or another India. And this is the India they're talking to. The La Florida India. The Cathay, Cateo, India. You're talking India all day. And then you have China right here. China, the China. China, the Kana, China, Kana. We're just talking about the Khan. You're the Ame'rican. Khan means priest. They just found your priesthood, and you're just waking back up. Now they want to connect you to the other world like this. Oh, look how you connect through Greenland. You just walk on over, right? But the Bering Strait's on the other side. The Bering Strait's on the other side, right? The Bering Strait. So they're connecting this way, man. So why do all the other maps now connected this way? I mean, it's just it's a little mind warp, man. But you see India Superior here. India Superior here. So we ain't playing that this is India, right? I mean, we got that. We can dig it. Love to Drop Nation, man. You know, so much drops came in with this Anian drop. So, A-hop to all of you that's dropping this great news. Because we just talking Anian or Arnon or India. Let's get closer, man. Mexico, South America driving. I-N-D-I-A, India. Right where Mexico is, right? Let's back up. So we got right around, right where Mexico is now, which Mexico is really much more. Mexica is really much more. And right here, we just got India. India Superior, Mexico. Prester John. Got it. India. India Superior, right? Cathay. Got it. Let's keep going to the left, because this is the subject of our conversation. Alright, so right where, you know, the coastline, you know, Cali, you know what I'm saying, New Mexico, all that, you got Anian Regnum, or the Regnum. Let's just see what Regnum means, man. classification. Let's see what this is. A badge of royalty, especially from the form of the Pope's tiara. Kingdom. Bang. 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 So when we talk Ragna, we're talking a kingdom of Ragnas. You see, the regal Negro. That's all we're talking about is a king. Got it. Got it. So when we see ANIAN, we're talking Ragna, we're talking a kingdom. We're not just talking a river. You have the ANIAN River, right? And then you have a kingdom. Now what's going on? Who's fighting for this kingdom? Now we gotta go into Joshua. Now we gotta go into Numbers, Deuteronomy. You dig? This is how we connect and surf the way. All praise, our framer and our shaper of all days. So let's talk about the ANIAN Kingdom, because some have it located in Peru. It appears on many maps located right here. We're the Four Corners, the coast, Cali, Khalifa, Judah, Udall territory, all that. So we're gonna get into the Strait of ANIAN from the Canadian Encyclopedia first. I just want to remember this map. Alright, so you can see it right here, ANIAN Ragna or Ragna. Alright, so this is all ANIAN Kingdom. You see how far it stretches out in North America here? It's not just here. All this is what? Prester, John, the Kingdom of David, Udall, all the way into the, Mexico, you know what I'm saying, into Sacsayhuaman in Peru. All that is connected. All that's ANIAN Ragna. All this is ANIAN, man. All this is ANIAN, man. Carrera is basically what they call parts of California. See how far California went down. So all this is the same, no matter whose perspective it is. But that sounds like Korea, right? And then you got Chapangu, alright, sound like Japan. So you got Japan, Korea, and of course we just noticed that we got China right here, with China. And what? India Superior. So they basically photocopied all the old world stuff from here, put it over there. But when you go there though, Hyborian. When you go there, though, you don't see nothing that you think you know. Bunch of little deserts and stuff. Here you got all the kingdoms. All the kingdoms. All the kingdoms. You go to Peru, it says black kingdoms. Black kingdoms, man. Over the Amazonia, alright? And then you got the land of no return. Or what, you crossing into Antarctica or something? Into Shambhala, man? Thothamon spell barrier? What do they got to say? Why would they put that in a reality simulation, man? The Thoth spell barrier, man. You know he put a spell on you, right? Okay. Ah, man, it's too much fun when you're surfing the wave, Jack. They placed Prester John not far from Mexico. And a map in the British Museum. In the British Museum. Prester John. Oh yeah, man, we just talking about Priest King Prester John. We've been talking about Prester John so much since 2016. You just Google Prester John and we pop up. Our investigation pops up. Because we've been definitely making some noise in this Prester John Studies curriculum. And there is Prester John studies in major universities. But that's on the hush-hush. Allow why. I'm just talking Priest King Prester John. Now, you know, we're gonna pick it up in that series. I'm just connecting some things on ANIAN. I'm just connecting some things on ANIAN. Get it from here. The Strait of ANIAN. So when they talk Strait of ANIAN, part of the legendary Northwest Passage linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, likely the Bering Strait. Alright, so when we look at this part right here, we see this little area right here. We're talking about the Bering Strait, where all this crossing over. They say all these Indians came from here, but they're just talking about a portion of the big picture when you deal with the ANIAN Kingdom and Priest King Prester John. So you got the Bering Strait situation here. So we're just saying this little, you know, they're all putting it, you know, basically in the same area. And you got the ANIAN Kingdom. So, you know, this is just a basic roundup. Strait of ANIAN, part of the legendary Northwest Passage linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, likely the Bering Strait. The name possibly originated with Ania, okay, a Chinese province, China, mentioned in the 1559 edition of Marco Polo's book. So again, I told you right away, they're going to try to connect this with China, which is why we have to connect ourselves with China. Love China, India Superior, Mexico, all connected. So we know we're talking India Superior, we know we're talking China, Cathay, all right here, then let's go. It first appeared on a map issued by Italian cartographer Giacomo Gastaldo Ladi around 1562. 5 years later, Bolongini Zattieri issued a map showing a narrow and crooked Strait of ANIAN separating Asia from America. The strait grew in European imagination as an easy sea lane, making Europe with the residence of the great Khan in Cathay man. Let's just say northern China, so now that we can know that China, or La China, let's see what it is. China. Alright, so northern China would link right up in this area. And we got who? Priest King Prester John, the Great Khan. Right around that Grand Canyon that they don't let no one get close to most of it, right? Only what, three or four out of how many thousands of habitation sites have been excavated? Like only a couple of them out of over 1,000, man. India Superior, Grand Canyon, all this. This is old world. You're in it. Let's go. So again, they saw it. The strait grew in a European imagination, right? All of this is in. They're bugging out over all this stuff going on over here, right? This is their fairy tale, right? They always think that this is a dream to them. This is paradise. That they came to paradise and look, man, they got themselves a white heaven. It's polluted. It's all fucked up. But you know, they came from fucked up. You know, they came from the Black Plague. It's nothing to have all these diseases around. This is what they came out of, man. They've never lived in paradise, and when they finally got a chance to live in paradise, this is what they turned it into. Virus. Disease. So in European imagination, it was an easy sea lane linking Europe with the residence of the Great Khan in Cathay. Great Khan in Cathay. Let's go. Out of the book 10 Lost Tribes, World History by ZVI Ben Dior Benite. Alright, bro. This belly flop right here, man. 165. Garcia was familiar with both Salteri's map, so we just talked Salteri in the other drop, and Maldonado's description of the Straits. He referred both in his narrative. Perhaps he also was attracted by the comment on the rapid tides, the tides that governed them. The tides, the wave, the tides, let's go, which may have struck him as a possible allusion to the river San Banyan, mythic behavior. We're going to get back on the San Banyan. We have no choice but to get on the San Banyan. Now check this little one too. So now we got the San Banyan mentioned, right? So now this is definitely mythical to them, a river that runs 6 days and rests on the Sabbath, called the Sabbath River, or the Sambat or Shabbat Yah. A river of pure precious stones with no water, but it has fish. A river of stones, runs 6 days and rests on the Sabbath. Separates a part of the tribes so that they be hidden away. All this is in Lost Tribes and Promised Lands by Rudolph Sanders. So using Ortiz' map, which places Azareth on the Asian side of the Straits, he was able to come up with a plausible trajectory leading the 10 tribes all the way to Spain. So we're just talking the tribes of Israel, the San Banyan River, keeping them in exile. Connection with Azareth, which we know we're talking the Americas. Aslan, love to teach. On the Asian side of the Straits, well, let's see what the Asian side really is. Now check it, man. So we're talking about finding these 10 tribes, right? The path he proposed also explains some of the American Indians' rights and customs. So he's saying, why is there a connection between these indigenous Indian Nagas, these copper-colored Khans? Why is there a connection between them and these 10 tribes that we're looking for? Or maybe this will explain why they're acting like the Jewish people or the Hebrews. Maybe this will explain why the Indians is so connected to Hebrew culture. Love to carry mail because he won't let his foot off the neck of the hijack. He's breaking it down all day. You can get some great drop in the drop library, love the top battle, connecting the so-called Indians with the Hebrew, the cultures, right? So now on their way from Azareth, here's their explanation of why these Indians have Hebrew customs, okay? On their way from Azareth to the Kingdom of ANIAN, the 10 tribes, he asserts, picked up some customs and rights observed in that kingdom. They just picked it up along the way. Don't be too wordy, man. You're just saying they picked it up along the way. All right. Careful to provide a complete picture of the plausible path to Garcia. Garcia also discusses the Greenland routes. All right, so now you're going the other, or you're going upward, so-called up. Providing a review of several suggestions put forth by other scholars, among them Jean Rod, who maintains that Azareth, listen up, Azareth is in Grand Tartary. That, as it is said in Esdras, it is across the river Euphrates. The 10 tribes went to the deserts of Tartary, and from there to that land towards the island of Ragna, because in that part it is said that America is not surrounded by sea, and in that part it is enclosed by the sea, and is almost an island. Thus we have at least 3 paths the 10 tribes could have taken to America. Atlantis. You thought it was play? This is the Lost Tribes, the 10 Lost Tribes of World History by Zevi bin Dor Benyai. Alright? 3 paths the 10 tribes could have taken to America. Atlantis, the Straits of Anian or Arnon, and Greenland. Now let's back it up. I know that was a lot. Maintains that Azareth is in Grand Tartary. Well, that just means India Superior. The Grand Tartary to them, you know, would be the highest of the Indias. The India Superior, where Cathay is and China is. I mean, the Hyborian war map lets you know where the Black Kingdoms are. Where the Grand Tartary, this is the real Indians. Pick land, we're talking about the kingdom. Divided into 12 tribes. Which looks like they're in battle formation, man. Protecting the what? They're protecting the kingdom of Arnon, Andion, man. They're protecting this Bering Strait situation, this crossing over. They're protecting the boundary of vortex. Asgard, huh? Samaria, huh? Samaria, huh? Okay. We got Ophir, the land of Ophir, right here next to Argos. Over Shem, S-H-E-M, Stasia, Luxor, Kush, Timbuktu, Punt, Zimbabwe, Amazon, India, Superior, man. It's a great, man, definitely we gotta dig more on this tribe, man, the 10 Lost Tribes. So they're talking about, maintains that Azareth is in Grand Tartary. Now check this, man. You know, if you look at, you know, this is out of BibleAtlas.org. Click the link. That's the Arnon River. And they would have you think, all right, so it's a Dead Sea, or you can look at it like the Utah situation, right? You know, you can almost also look at it like they're just, you know, this is just a picture, so they can put things different places. But this to me reminds me of the coast right here. You know what I mean? Where's my Anian, man? Where's my Anian? Alright. The coast, you got Anian right here, right? Better one, so Anian. So you got Pick land in the Hyborian war map, right? Or you got, we're gonna get back on these picks, man, because it all connects to the warriors, man, protecting the vortex. So you got Anian. So just pay attention to this coast right here when I get back. And just, you know, it feels like they're playing this, you know what I mean? When we talk this coast right here. Because you got the Arnon or the Anian River. See how it says Arnon River? Arnon River. Anian, Arnon. This is how they'll want you to perceive it nowadays. Because they don't expect you, you know what I mean, to be doing no digging. You know what I mean? Nah. Looking for this one map I just had up, man. Keep losing. Well, this is one of them. I just use this one. But yeah, they don't want you to. They don't expect you to be connecting the R9. You know what I'm saying? With this area in North America. You know what I mean? They expect you just to feel like, okay, no, the R9. And the R9 is here, man. The R9's in the Dead Sea in the Middle East. And just take our map projection, no problem. But here you can connect so many other lands, and it's almost like if you take this map, feel me, and you juxtapose it right in this area, would that be the location of all the drop? Could you find all these areas? You know what I mean? Could you find all these areas popping up right here? In North America, right? In India Superior, right? So right quick, man, I just want to play a piece of this that we were digging on the last Prester drop. Then we're going to pick it up and get into the script, do a couple other musical features. Can you dig it? Let's go. What up, man? Let me pause the flute. Pause the flute.
They're all looking for Prester John, man. They're all looking for the Khan side, which it was now considered had been so nearly reached by these new travelers, because they're coming over here looking for this promised land, alright? As Cortez and his followers pushed forward, however, into the vast regions which lay to the north and west of their first line of entry into the continent, and found little save semi-naked savages. You call us savages, but you're speaking Hebrew to us? What savages do you speak Hebrew to? I mean, savages is like the cave dwellers that's grunting. Like over there, right? Like over here, they was in the caves grunting. They had no language. They had to learn how to do all this. Those are savages. You don't come over here with a Hebrew interpreter and call us savages. We're Oriental splendor. Remember, you're in the Orient. Call Prester John the Oriental too, just like they call you. And civilization were looked for. The first picture gradually faded away, and it was at length realized that more exploration must take place upon and around Balboa's new ocean before the coveted land of Kublai Khan. What does Kublai Khan got to do with America? Shit, what does Genghis Khan got to do with America? What does Prester John got to do with America? What does Batu Khan got to do with America? What does Manchu Khan got to do with the Inca? Where Kublai Khan and his descendants could be attained, so they knew that these certain Khans was over here, whether they was descendants of Prester John or Genghis Khan. But before the passing of this dream, the belief that the Chinese empire had been nearly reached had sufficed to fill the maps of the new continent with kingdoms. The new continent, alright? Because China over there is not on a new continent.
But over here you have La China, right where Mexico is. And over here, right where Mexico is, you have Prester John in India Superior. So literally they're putting Prester John in China. That's where it's at, man. That's where it's popping at. Again, La China, India Superior, La China. Here's where Mexico is, right? Look where Mexico is. Look where China is. Look where Mexico is and where China would be. You see Prester John right in La China. Let's go. So let's get the couple more paragraphs of this one. It says, so we're looking for these khans over here. And they were placed upon the blank spaces or fitted by eager cartographers to suit natural features described by returning voyagers. An instance of this perhaps pardonable professional enterprise is to be found in the Ruch's map, published in Rome 1507 and used to illustrate an edition of Ptolemy's works. The relationship between the new Spanish discoveries and the Terra Nova in the Asian continent was not yet fathomed, but all of Marco Polo's kingdoms were placed close at hand in the northwest, ready to be absorbed by forthcoming expeditions, developing the idea of a little further. After this discovery of the mainland north of Isthmus, we find that the maker of the MS map, illustrated in outline, has placed Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors not very far from Mexico. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag. Body bag.
Black
really.
Priest King is rocking right here. And we don't want to talk about it. We don't care about it. We put our timeline back together. You got the Israelites literally rocking, being called Mongols and Tartars and you know what I mean, Celtics and, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff, man. You know, and in reality, you're just talking about a worldwide kingdom of Israel where Prester John had rulership over all three Indias. And that's why the Tartary Empire was so big. Because not only did Prester John have a big chunk, but then Genghis Khan came and sort of carved through the whole thing. And that's what they're getting. It's not just one empire. It was warring empires. Let's go.
Warring empires, man. So let's go to war. Let's go to war. Now we get into this link right here. We talk Arnon Anian. First of all, you remember, man, we was looking up Arnon Anian. We noticed, unless there's some super Google glitch, every single document, when you look it up on the internet, they changed. They basically took the Arnon out. I believe it was the Arnon Anian. Let's check this out. It says, in Numbers, I just Googled Arnon Anian River. So you go ahead and do that, man. Put that in the Google. In Numbers, it is simply Anian. But in Deuteronomy and Joshua, generally, the TBC River, Arnon. So they go from Anian to Arnon, River of Arnon. All right. I mean, let's see what it says when we click on it. Make it a little bigger. In Numbers, it is simply Arnon. So does this make sense? I'm saying, is it some glitch? Because when we look it up in the Google search, it says it correctly. And then when you click on it and look at the document, you see how easy it is for them to change anything. But it's not just one document. It's every single one that we're looking at. Damn near every one. Alright? Now, does this make sense when you read it? In many of the above passages, it occurs. Let's get it big. In many of the above passages, it occurs in the formula for the site of Error, which is by the brink of the river Arnon. In Numbers, it is simply Arnon, but in Deuteronomy and Joshua, generally the river Arnon. I mean, can't you tell something's been changed here? Why would they think this makes sense to put Arnon in here twice when they're saying it's been changed from something to something, right? In Numbers, it is simply Arnon, but in Deuteronomy and Joshua, generally the river Arnon. In Numbers, it is Arnon, and in Deuteronomy, it's Arnon. In Numbers, it's Arnon, and Joshua, it's Arnon. It make your head start spinning like, wait a minute, are you switching shit up right in our face? You don't want us to start researching the ANIAN kingdom, man? You don't want to start researching ANIAN, knowing that all the maps point to it right here? You know that? You know we coming? You know we coming? And now we got the ANIAN Ragna or Regio, Reggie, right? So that's the region. That's the what? That's the what? We got the kingdom. We're just looking up the Ragna. And we got the kingdom. The Ragna, the kingdom, the Ragna, the kingdom. Let's put it all together, man. Let's put it all together, man. Hold up, man. Where's my flutes, man? Where's my flute bones, man? I need that flauta. I need that flauta. I need that Walter. Ragna, they took your kingdom, right? Your kingdom, man. Prester John, man. Isaiah 3 and 5, you can go a long time without a king, without a khan, without a prince. But one day you will seek the Creator. And David, your king, khan, one shepherd, forever. I mean, we just digging on the script, seeing what time is it really. I mean, are we tripping when we looking up? Where's that Google? Got so much stuff, man. Yeah, there we go. So does this make sense to you? And then we're going to talk about this in many of the above passages. Now this is out the book Cyclopedia of Biblical, Theological, and Ecclesiastical Literature by John McClintock. Alright. So, okay. In the many above passages, it occurs in the formula for the site of Error, which is in the brink of the river Arnon. So that's why I want to do this drop. I want to get deeper, take our time with it, enjoy it. Every drop is an experience, man. Alright, so we're going to enjoy every drop. We're going to enjoy our way to digging on it. And little by little, brick by brick, man. Here a little, there a little, man. So when we look at this river, right, they call it what? In many of the above passages, it occurs in the formula for the site of Error, which is by the brink of the river Arnon. So we go back to Bible Atlas. I told you, just juxtapose this, take this piece, and this is Cali, all right, this is New Mexico, this is the Four Corners. You got Azareth, Artaroth, bang, Four Corners, Prester John, Aslan. Over here you got Error. Huh. I mean, how would that look if you put it all right here, right? How would it look if you put it all right here? So you got ANIAN, and then you got Error. Basically right where they're putting this Indian Superior situation, or this Mexico situation. You know, you tell me, we're just talking Prester John, man. Yeah, man. You know, we're searching, we're seeking Hawa and David, our king. We're just flowing in the wave. Don't mind us. Let's go. So now that we see they're hiding ANIAN, because they don't want you to be thinking ANIAN, right? In America. And we see they're hiding it. In Numbers, it is simply Arnon, but in Deuteronomy, it's the river Arnon. Let's go back. But what does it say in the Google search? Let's read it together. In Numbers, it is simply ANIAN, but in Deuteronomy and Joshua, generally the river Arnon. So it says it correctly in Google search. You click on it, it's changed to Anna. Right here it says ANIAN, simply ANIAN. Here it says, in Numbers it is simply Arnon. So he changed it from ANIAN to Arnon in our face. And that's just one document, right? That's just one, man, huh? We got scripture that's supposed to be saying ANIAN, right? The New Living Translation. My land from the ANIAN River to the Jabbok River. What's that? What's that, man? Oh, what happened? Who lived in that region from the Arnon River to the Jabbok River. So, this is the book, this is the Holy Bible, right? This is Judges. And look in your translations, it's gonna say Arnon. It's not gonna say ANIAN anymore, man. And that's what we did last time. Look on, check that last Prester job. I'll drop the link. And we just went through looking for it, man. And I haven't found a translation that has ANIAN. I mean, maybe you have yours that have ANIAN. Let me know. But this is Judges 11:22. From the Arnon River to the Jabbok River, from the eastern wilderness to the Jordan Sea. Man, we're just talking about Israel took control of all the land of the Amorites. So we're gonna get in these Amorites. We're gonna get on these Moabites, because we just trying to see clearly in our tribal war. I mean, we could all be one, right? You know what I mean? We can all be one under the Creator of the earth, right? But we need to love each other. We need to love ourselves before we can love everybody. You know what I mean? You gotta love yourself before you can love everybody, man. If you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody. You gotta love yourself, man. As Israel, waking up, we gotta love ourselves. We gotta do something for us right quick. And then we can get back to, working with everybody. But we gotta be at full power, which is exactly what most of these tribes, right? The Confederacy, Psalms 83. I'll make a confederacy against you. They'll be confederate against my people. And this is the real life application of it. And it continues today. So again, you see it being changed in real life from the Arnon to the Jabbok. But when we went back, this is just supposed to be the scripture, right? My land from the ANIAN River to the Jabbok River, not Arnon. But then you click the script, and we have Arnon. We'll just say, I'm just gonna pull up, I'll be digging in the BLB Classic. I think that was Judges 11. Let's see. What verse was that? Getting kind of tabby. 22. And they possessed all the coast of the Amorites. Keep the Amorites in mind. from the Arnon even to the Jabbok. See, it's been changed in many of our translations, but the Arnon is supposed to be what? The Arnon is supposed to be what? It says it right here. All you gotta do is put it in Google, and it's like a glitch pops up. My land from the ANIAN River to the Jabbok River, man. See, when you talk ANIAN, man, we're right here. It takes us right here, and that's why they're changing it right in our face, right in our script. Arnon, right in all these pieces of literature. They're changing it because they know you got to access it online, so it's easier to change it online. Now, if you got it in real time, maybe you do got some Bibles and some script that got ANIAN, man. Let me know. But ain't this something, man? Ain't this something, man? So that's why they keep doing new translations. So now we got translations of our Tanakhs, but they've already changed it to Arnon. Shit, I mean, you know, we were digging on this before, but it's just really crazy when you see it firsthand. My land from the ANIAN River, man. The ANIAN, man. So that's what really got us digging, man. And we say, okay, where are we, man? What's it to us, this ANIAN region, this ANIAN kingdom, this Strait of ANIAN, this river ANIAN? See, this is the area that these wars were going down at, man, for the Four Corners, which is why they got the Moorish treaties with Zelia Bay signed for certain longitudes and latitudes, and other treaties to try to get the kingdom, the ANIAN kingdom. Oh, we just black people, we supposed to wake up and work together. Nigga, we been at war. More and more been at war, but when you talk more and more, let's get specific. You're talking Amorite, Moabite, Jebusite, all against who? Israel. And they know who they are, and they know who they be. Warlock Asylum, international news. I mean, you know, this is one of their priest kings, prophets, right? Not of Israel, but of certain tribes specific. And that ain't no slight on us. We got our own prophets and priest kings, right? But this brother Noble Drew Ali, man, you know, power to him for real. And all respect for the work he got done. But it's specific. It is a specific flow. The Thorndike Bernhardt Dictionary in 17, I mean, all this drop is on this page, 1979, makes a direct connection between Moor and Moab. It states that Moor comes from Moabites of biblical Moab, son of Lot. Got it. Moors in the United States abroad. Pimienta Bay's work. Okay, all right. However, the ancestry of the Moors lends itself to the Hittites and Amorites, also the Amorites, huh? And Hawa, this is Judges 11:21, and Hawa, the power of Israel delivered Sihon and all his people into the hand of Israel. And they smote them, so Israel possessed all the land of the Amorites, the inhabitants of that country. And they possessed all the coast of the Amorites, from the Arnon even unto Jabbok, and from the wilderness even unto Jordan. You can look into Horace Butler's book, digging on that, and the connection between all that stuff and the real names, the Yarden, not the Jordan, the Yarden, the Yarden. And he found that all connected in the Americas, man. And he got his own, you know, theory about the migration, and we got our own stuff too, man. So, you know, we do all our stuff, we flowing, we're digging on all this for fair use, for scholarship, teaching purposes. Let's go, man. Wow. So we know we're just talking the Amorites, right? The war, right? What war? The Moors, right? The Moab, right? Also connected to these Hittites and the Amorites, Holy Quran, Moorish Science Temple, we read the Moabites. It is out the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple, right? The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa. And we have their maps, and we know that Northwest Africa is America. Northwest Africa. I don't know if I got any of those maps up right now. If I type in Ame'rican map, more Moab. What else do I want? Northwest Africa. Alright, that's the map we want. We got a couple of them up here. Let's check this one out. Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, man. Alright, so we got North and South America is all Ham. And Africa and all that is Kush. And nothing's for Shem, right? Nothing's for Israel. That's how the Moroccans view things when we talk Atlantis. All that's Atlantis. All of that's Atlantis. All of this is Atlas. Atlas is who? The son of Poseidon. We're talking Atlantean Mu war of the people of Mu versus the Atlanteans that need the permission of the Pharaoh to move on you and take your lands. If it was theirs, they wouldn't need permission of the Pharaoh. Get it? Remember what the brother just said. The Moabites from the land of Moab who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa. And we said, well, where's Northwest Africa? To the Moor. Where's Northwest Africa to the Moor? Come on, man. This ain't no play, man. Northwest Africa, Ame'rican. That's North America. Southwest Africa, Ame'rican. Ame'rican is Atlantis itself to them. Alright, so yeah, you're in Northwest Africa, people. Which is the old world, people, the old Africa. So they say, y'all came from Africa? Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, man. There's an untold and sort of hush-hush history about the Moors that's like a big secret. Truth is, the Moors were and are the aboriginal and indigenous inhabitants of North, Central, South America, Mexico, Canada, and all the adjoining islands. The ancient Moorish Empire extended at the time from Africa and Europe to the Americas, anciently referred to as Ame'rican. The Moors inhabited the shores of Africa and America's North, South, Central. So everybody's included in this Moorish Empire. All black people. This has been deploying the game from the top. But when did it not get tribal? I mean, weren't we just talking tribes? I mean, hold up, man. Maybe I'm tripping. Weren't we just... Wait, where's Judges, man? Weren't we just reading Judges? And they possessed all the coast of the Amorites from ANIAN unto the Jabba. So there's a war going on. And then suddenly, somehow, you know what I'm saying? This is all Ham and Kush. They just wiped out the entire Shem history, anything, right? It's just, nah, man, you're just a part of us now. You're just more. It's all us, man. It's all one thing, man. What do you mean? We were just at war the whole time. Then they went, this is Judges 11:18. Then they went along through the wilderness and compassed the land of Edom and the land of Moab, and came by the east side of the land of Moab, and pitched on the other side of Arnon, or Anian, but came not within the border of Moab, for Anian was the border of Moab. This is a border war, territory war. The sons of Lot didn't like their lot. They wanted more type of war. And what the Moab brother tell us, man? The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the Pharaoh to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa. Northwest Africa. Where? Northwest Africa. They had to get permission from their Thoth, their Pharaoh, which is why you see way down here the Thoth Amon spell barrier. They're under this spell still, the Thoth spell, Tahuti spell, Ra spell. That's their God spell. And they need permission from their Thoth born, their Thoth. They need permission from their Thoth. Permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, the Atlanteans, right? Because we're just talking Atlantis, where the pharaohs are coming out of. This Egyptian dynasty is coming directly out of the 10 dynastic kingdoms of Atlantis, and with permission of the pharaoh from Atlantis to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa, which is North and South America, which they just call a Mexum, right? They're just calling it a Mexum, right? Atlantis. You see, this war is deep, man. It's been going on. I mean, you read out the scripture, but you got to understand, you're talking Atlantis versus the people of Moab, who are the real Moab, who don't need permission of the Pharaoh to rock. They just need permission of Ahchwa. They were the founders and true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. The present, not the old, the present, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. The Hittites, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Moabites. We got Edom mixed all in there. Their dominion and habitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa. Remember Southwest Africa? Southwest Africa is just South America, people. So we're speaking code word, code more language, right? Now we get it. Now we can get more across Great Atlantis, even into the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake, which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean. Does that got anything to do with the flood of 899? Evidence of the Moors inhabiting pre-Columbian America is explained in Horace Butler's Book of Roscoe. Man, go dig on it, man. The Amorites under the nation of Moab are cited in other sources and ancestors as the ancestors of the historical Moors also in the Encyclopedia of Creation Science. All right. I mean, please keep going. And now we just need to see clearly, when we're digging on this Arnon, river of Arnion that they want to put near the Dead Sea, which I believe is connected to this Utah and the oceans of Utah. And you got Ashereth. You got Error, all right? And all this is connected in the script. And let's get it. Let's pick it up from over here, man. Just remember, the Kingdom of ANIAN connected to these 10 tribes or 12 tribes on the way from Arzareth or Asherah, alright, to the Kingdom of ANIAN. The 10 tribes, he asserts, picked up customs and rites observed in the kingdom and province. All this to connect the Azareth, the the Ashland, Atlan, with his grand tardy or Indian superior. To the who? The Indians, right? The Kingdom of ANIAN is the Kingdom of the Indians, is the Kingdom of Priest King Prester John. Because we just talked with Prester John, King Day. So you need to know that this war, there's more and more wars already popping off. You see who is on one side of it. See who's on the other side of it. Some might be getting this for the first time, so let's, since you're about to start digging on it, let's just talk Psalms 83. They have come and said, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. Where's Israel? Where's Shem? You are no more in remembrance, Shem. You're nowhere on their map of Ame'rican. Atlantis has nothing to do with you, right? Yeah, Atlantis has nothing to do with you. Not the people of Moab. The dragons versus the snakes. The dragon-snake war has been popping up. Oh, I'm just reading Psalms 83. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of who? Call them out. Edom, Ishmael, Moab, the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have helped or opened the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jaban, as to the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Does it sound like we're walking hand in hand, singing Kumbaya as black men, black women? No, it's tribal war, and it's happening today behind the scenes while you still sleep. I'm all about uniting with my people. But first we have to see clearly that we are in a tribal war. No matter how scholastic any more think they are, they cannot deny that this war continues. So once we all can establish clearly who we are, the frequency we rocking in, we coming in, and we can respect each other's frequencies, against a greater hijack, perhaps. We can respect Hawaii, respect the people of Hawaii, respect the people of Priest King, King David, who these copper Indians were led, these lost tribes of Israel who fled there headed by Prester John. When we can respect where we at, and you stop trying to jack us for our natural birthright, so we can be kumbaya until we say, you know what, hey bro, I know it's a black thing, but you're kind of on our land. Your lot is over here. Why do you need this lot? Oh, but we're just black, man. Come on, brother. I know, I hear you, but see, there's been a confederacy against our people. They are confederate against us. This black Edom, this black Ishmael, this black Moabite, this black Ammonite, Amorite, confederate against us. So let's wake up, man. Let's wake up, man. Let's take the steps. Now we're going, every time we see R9, we know we're talking ANIAN. I just want to kind of read a couple of scripts and get a picture painted. Now that we can put ANIAN in its proper place, now that we can come on home to the ANIAN kingdom. We can come on home to India, Superior. It did. As long as we can come on home. We got Numbers 21. You know, we'll get 13 through 28. Let's go. Pick up this link right here. This is from thebiblehood.com. I'm looking in the JPS Tanakh, 1917. From thence they journeyed and pitched on the other side of the Arnon, which is in the wilderness, the other side of the what? ANIAN. Where's my other ANIAN? No. Here we go. Alright, remember, it's the same map that got India, right? India right over Mexico, right? So this would be Cali, right? This is Arnon or ANIAN, and this is the Strait of ANIAN, which would be right here. This is Prester John, this is the ANIAN Kingdom, the Rex, the Kingdom, the Khan, the Grand Khan, the Tartar. Is it the Grand Khan of Tartary they're looking for? Grand Khan and Cathay, right? Strait of ANIAN separating Asia from America, okay. Easy sea line linking Europe with the residence of the Grand Khan, Great Khan, Wang Khan, Priest King. ANIAN. Okay, so let's go. You see clearly, you know there's a confederacy against us. This confederacy that we are waking up out of a spell, of a Thoth-Amon spell burial. We know that they are tribal. These Moabites from the land of Moab received permission of the pharaohs from Egypt to settle in northwest, what? Africa, northwest Africa, remember. Let's go, I need you to see clearly. With the inhabitants of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, alright, dog. Yeah, man, I mean, we're just calling out names. Psalms 83. They have formed a council. They have consulted together. They have made crafty counsel. They are confederate against you, the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, Moab. Okay, Ammon, let's go. From thence they journeyed and pitched on the other side of the ANIAN, which is in the wilderness that comes out of the border of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, or ANIAN is the border of Moab. So if you look at it that way, could we be saying that? I'm just trying to find these borders, man, you know? Could we look at a border from this way, as in separating Asia from this part of America, that Moab would be situated on this side? Or are we saying Moab would be centered, you know, right where the ANIAN Kingdom split off somewhere in South America? You know, I think Horace Butler has Moab over here in South America, so I could rock with that. But there seems to be another barrier right here that might also be separating some hijack. Alright, so let's go. Alright, Strait of ANIAN. Then they called it Arnon, right? Let's go. They're surfing the wave. Alright, so they journeyed, pitched their tents on the other side of the ANIAN, which is in the wilderness that comes out of the border of the Amorites. For ANIAN is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. The border of Moab between Moab and the Amorites. Okay, wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of Hawa, Beheb and Sapah in the valleys of ANIAN, in the slope of the valleys that inclines towards the seat of Ar, and leans upon the border of Moab. The border of Moab. And it's the part that we were just getting. And Sihon would not suffer Israel to pass through his border. But Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Israel into the wilderness and came to Jahaz and fought against Israel. Oh no, brother, it's just all the same. More and more war over this land here. And Israel smote him with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from the ANIAN unto Jabal, and even unto the children of Ammon, for the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and Israel dwelt in the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the towns thereof. Now match this with the Aztec coming around, going through all of their wars to reestablish their territories, not new territories, their old birthright territories, and cleanse the land of all those that are not in the frequency of the Creator of the earth. They have the idolatrous neighbors, right? Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors. Oh shit, this is starting to make more sense. So this British map in the British Museum has placed Prester John and his idolatrous neighbors not far from Mexico. And we know that Moab had their idols, and Ammon had their idols, and Amorites had their idols, and the Canaanites had their idols. Let's connect it, man. Let's keep going, man. We're just trying to make sure the puzzle pieces are in place. It's not to bang on nobody, because we know that we had our own idols, and we had our own fall, we had our own issues. Nobody gets, the responsibility for hijacking us but us. We let y'all hijack us. We let the hijack us by slipping. By slipping on our order, our flow. By taking it for granted. No one can conquer us when we are unified, strong, and in order, and in the flow. There's no example of us being in the flow and conquered at the same time. We have to come out of captivity to regain our flow. And it has to be forever this time. It's got to be forever this time. And Israel took all these cities. Israel dwelt in the cities of the Amorites, and Heshbon in the towns thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon, even unto Anian. Wherefore they speak in parables. And they say, what? Come ye to Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and established, for fire is gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It hath devoured Ar of Moab, and the lords of the high places of Anian, the high places of the Anian kingdom. Or they would like to call it Northwest Africa. Mexico, with permission of the Pharaoh, of course. Let's get a couple more, man. There's numbers. We got the judges. We got the judges drop. Let's get Isaiah 16 and Jeremiah 48 for this, man. Oh, then we're going to get Joshua too, so let's get Isaiah 16. Let's see which one that was. Verse 2. Start at the top. Send you the lambs for the ruler of the land from the crags that are toward the wilderness unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that as wandering birds at scattered nests, so shall the daughters of Moab be at the fords of Arnon. At the fords of Arnon. Give counsel, execute justice. Make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, betray not the fugitive. Let my outcast dwell with thee. As for Moab, be thou a cover to him from the face of the spoiler. For the extortion is at an end, spoiling ceases. They that trample down are consumed out of the land. This wasn't no kumbaya, man. So don't black on black us today. Oh, you were all Moorish. Ish what? Either we're Israel or we're not. Who are you going to war with if we don't exist? And why don't you want us to exist anywhere on your map? We are in Africa, right? Or should I say, ANIAN? And should we all say, who is Prester John? Is he Moorish too? And if he lives, we live. We remember to seek our Creator and our Priest King. And there ain't no confusion about that. Hosea 3, and afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek Ahchwa their power and David their king. So we're just talking about the fords of Arnon or ANIAN. So shall the daughters of Moab be at the fords, man. The fords. So are they being cut off here? Are they being cut off at the other tip of the ANIAN? Of the kingdom? Of the kingdom? What about Jeremiah 48? We're gonna go. Verse 20. Moab is put to shame, for it is dismayed. Wail and cry, tell you in the ANIAN that Moab is spoiled. Moab is spoiled. Moab is spoiled. Don't come to us as some high, powerful Moroccan empire. Don't come to us as a high-powered Moroccan empire where Moab is spoiled, and if it's still a covert operation, then just know that as seeds, we rise and we recover. We recover from the brainwash, from the invasion. Because none of this will be possible without you. We all must take responsibility for our part. And what happened to the 10 tribes, the 12, the 13, on their way from Arsareth to the Kingdom of ANIAN, not Arnon, ANIAN. We're talking the tribes, the customs. We're talking Atlantis, right? Yeah, man. We're talking the Great Khan and Cathay. The Kingdom of ANIAN. We're talking India, India, which means we're talking India Superior, which means we're talking Hyboria, the Black Kingdoms, the Pick Land, and the More War, or the Atlantis Mu War. It's just about to be at a culmination. Because Moab, Atlantis, Thoth is spoiled. Joshua 24 for the dismount. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem and called for the elders of Israel and for their heads and for their judges and for their officers, and they presented themselves before Ahchwa. And Joshua said unto all the people, thus said Ahchwa. See, when Joshua, when Cuzco, when the real one spoke, he spoke in the name of Ahchwa, the God of Israel. Your fathers dwelt in old time beyond the river, even Terah, beyond the river, even Terah, the father of Abraham and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. We open it up, our ancestors, us, we are ancestors, we open it up to this hijack man. And I took your father Abraham and from beyond the river and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed and gave him Isaac, and I gave Isaac Jacob and Esau, and I gave it unto Esau Mount Shor to possess it, and Jacob and his children went down into Egypt, and I sent Moses and Aaron, and I plagued Egypt. Joshua's talking right now. In the name of Ahchwa, Joshua's talking. This is how Joshua talked, so we don't get it twisted. According to that which I did in the midst thereof, and afterward I brought you out, and I brought your fathers out of Egypt, and you came unto the sea, and the Egyptians pursued after your fathers with chariots and the horsemen unto the Red Sea, or the Reed Sea. Love to the Templar. And now they need permission of the pharaohs to settle in the Americas, man. Because they're rocking with them, but you were at war with them, right? He put darkness between you and the Egyptians, and brought the sea upon them and covered them, and your eyes saw what I did in Egypt, and you dwell in the wilderness many days, and I brought you into the land of the Amorites that dwell beyond Jordan, and they fought with you, and I gave them into your hand, and you possessed their land, and I destroyed them from before you. Then Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and fought against Israel. Moab is fighting against Israel all the time. And he sent and called Balaam the son of Beor and cursed you. They still cursing you behind the scenes. And I would not hearken unto Balaam, therefore he blessed you. So I delivered you out of his hand, and ye went over the Jordan and came into Jericho. And the men of Jericho fought against you, the Amorite, and the Perizzite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite. Ain't this the Confederation? Ain't this Psalms 83? Ame'rican, Hittite, Girgashite, Hivite, Jebusite, and I delivered you into their hands. And I sent the hornets before you and drove them out before you, even the two kings of the Amorites, and not with thy sword, nor with thy bow. And I gave you a land wherein you had not labored, and cities which you built not, and ye dwelt therein, and vineyards and olive yards, and you planted not, do you eat. Now therefore, fear or respect your Creator, and serve him in sincerity and truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served beyond the river. What river? We're talking ANIAN. And in Egypt, and serve you Ahchwa. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Ahchwa, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were beyond the river. What river? Or the gods of the Amorites and those whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Ahchwa. And the people answered, far be it from us that we should forsake Ahchwa to serve other gods. For Ahchwa, our God, our power, he is that brought us and our fathers out the land of Egypt, out of bondage, man. Preserved us. As for me and my house, we serve Ahchwa only. We say Ahchwa, not in the name of nobody, not in the name of no the Mashiach. We say Ahchwa, Ahchwa, directly to our source, nothing in between. because this river has major importance when you talk about the boundaries of the Moors and the boundaries of the Amorites. And this is the royalty. Spend more on more. This is what America really looking like. This is what's really going down. Wow, wow. We keep surfing the wave around here, man. We're gonna keep surfing the wave around here, man. Let's keep walking in our beautiful cave, man, our crystal cave, you know. What do they call it? The Carlsbad caverns. We talking New Mexico. And while we do that, man, let's go out to some beautiful music, man. This joint is called Soul Chillin', produced by CJ Battle. Let go. So much soul. Drop next.
Oh boy. Soul. So much soul. Don't you agree? I agree. Monarchy. So much soul. Drop nation. CJ Battle. 2 cups, soul chillin' in my hand. 1 for me, 1 for my man. Soul chillin', slow reelin' with my hand. Reelin' with my plan, we just really with the plan, boy. 2 cups, soul chillin' in my hand. 1 for me, 1 for my man. Soul chillin', slow reelin' with my hand. Reelin' with the plan, we just really with the plan, boy. Living word, no death in my company. Moving water, nothing still in front of me. On my daughter, every naga got a dragon. Game over, every hijack will be loud. They'll say who's Prester John, they'll say who's Prester John. Oh, we got him on the run, boy, we got him on the run. They'll say this the magic scepter when the emerald's pointed at him. Boy, we got him on the run, man, we traveling up for fun. Man, we soul chillin', reelin' in my hand with my hand. 1 for me, 1 for my man. Soul chillin', slow reelin' with my hand. Reelin' in the plan, we just really with the plan, boy. King Kong, Grand Khan in my company. Priest King, soul chillin', making life a beach. 10 toes, we firm, fixed, and movable. 9 commandments, the spiral is so portable. They'll say who's Prester John, they'll say who's Prester John. Boy, we got him on the run, boy, we got him on the run. It's the magic scepter with that emerald.
Yeah, they got him on the run.
CJ Battle.
They say who is Prester John? Wait, let me ask my mom. Just a sister spitting wisdom, call it Typhat Zon. We on a mission, on a quest that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Referencing the tablets when I'm up against my habits. Time traveling to the past in the days of joyous laughing. Got me thinking, man, what happened? And looking for Prester John like aye, Cap.
Hijack Slayer, we hijack free everywhere. Execution, X marks the spot in every prayer. Drop nation, they can't tell us who we are. No. Sprouting seeds, they buried us and here we are. They'll say who's Prester John, they'll say who's Prester John. Boy, we got him on the run, boy, we got him on the run. They'll see there's that magic scepter with that emerald pointed at him. Boy, we got him on the run, man, we driving up for fun. I'm in 2 cups, soul chillin' in my hand. Let go. 1 for me, 1 for my man. Come on, soul chillin', slow reelin' with my hand. Reelin' in the plan, we just really with the plan. 2 cups, soul chillin', we don't soul chillin'. The Lord, so it's not dead. The Lord, us, we don't we're not storm battle. The Lord, you know we in battle time. Battle time, there's more, man. We do it every time. The story, the Lord. More man, it's more man.
Yeah.
The Lord.
We got one more. We got one more, man.
It's all happening.
Look at my jiggers, man. What they do? CJ Battle Production, baby. We out of here, baby. Drop nation. And they go.
Chilling in Sedona. Tribal vibers, high mountains on the side, life in Arizona. Devil switching, side rivals running high, we digging this aroma. Fraudulent personas, artificial soldiers taking this shit over. And that's word to my mama. Khalifa's about that drama. Called the Dalai Lama, Prester to the slaughter, time to make a martyr. In the forest getting smarter, codes that we taught you, look at what we brought you. Someone called it Dr. Reality, can shock you, I can fight you, but I'll box you. That's a word to my father. We back in Wakanda, we got the reload. They back to Shabaka, they getting repo. The floors in the lower, got cousins in Samoa. It's purely Sedona, it's purely Sedona.
That's that my jigger, man. That's that realness, man. We just talking ANIAN, man. We just talking ANIAN, man. Y'all keep digging in. Look forward to more, man. When we talk about the kingdom of the priest king. Who is Prester John? Alive. Ahchwa.